Welcome to the Draft Brewery. Chris here, / Dr. Chris Baker DC. And we've got a doozy of a match here. We've got round 4, the Gauntlet with Cyclops combo. This match is literally the match that inspired me to create these analysis videos, because there were so many things that were just plays that I would not have made and I would have played differently that I thought could seriously affect the outcome of the match. There were a lot of comments from a guy that kind of tried to analyze the match like really analytically, and he did a good job with it, but I'm not sure if any of it's relevant if I make like the plays that I make and the game just goes way differently. Something to keep in mind here is that we're playing against Godzo. Godzo's a real opponent. So when you recognize the name of someone and they're playing a real deck from PDC, you're going to have a quality match. You need to play well to beat them. Like, when you make mistakes, it's going to sting even harder. So we got our fearless pilot, Brennan, muted here so that we can give our commentary. So we win the die roll, we choose to play. This hand's a keep in my book, because we can play Frostburn Weird, Lightning Strike, the bolt off of any land. The Archaeomancers we don't need to light anyway. Turn 2 Frostburn Weird, and we're likely playing against Mono Black. Mono Black is just like, in my opinion, easily the best deck in the format. Oh, okay. Blue-black, okay. Interesting. That's how much I already forget about this match. Blue-black is much easier, especially if he's playing like 3-3. Okay. Okay, well, we're gonna have to pause here. He scried Shock to the top against a blue-black deck, which is not known for its creatures with 2 toughness. It's known for value and control. We need to hit an island in order for Archaeomancer to even be anything. And we have double Lightning Strike already. My play, scry Shock to the bottom. Alright. The play of bolting his guy and attacking is acceptable because we curve out. We potentially scry bottom, draw island next turn, but now we're guaranteeing we're not drawing island. Okay? And when we're guaranteeing we're not hitting land drops, we're going to fall behind. We're going to do it faster. So we kept the shock, and look at us. We feel like geniuses. We're rewarded. So here, you can pump twice. It's safe. You don't need Lightning Strike. He doesn't play... The only card that would punish us right now is if he goes Swamp, Disciple of Phoenix. But no, he just plays another Deathcoat Rogue. So... like, Brennan's also playing very, very fast, which is kind of interesting. It's like, yeah, take a second to think about it. Like, our opponent's deck is a little weird. I haven't seen anything quite like it at this point. Nah. So sure, that guy represents 2 damage, but you're blowing removal spells on it, and you don't really need to. My play there is attack when he no blocks. Hit him for 4. Okay? Think about it. Put him down to 12. Alright, let's pause. Right now, our opponent could be at 12, and we could have another Lightning Strike in hand. Our opponent would also have another 2-2 in play. What we want to do against a deck like this, especially after seeing that he is just playing creatures, we're just racing. So what you just did is that, you know, you slowed our clock down by 2 damage, and his clock down by 2 damage. But the thing is, we're already well ahead in this race. Alright, so let's see what we draw. Another bolt. Alright, so I'm guessing if he bolts, no, don't do it. Okay, pause. Think before you cast a spell. Can you attack with Frostburn Weird? Can he block? If he blocks with one guy, you eat his guy. If he blocks with both guys, you can 2-for-1 him and just make it a 4-1. Hence, he will not block. Right? But now when you bolt his Screecher first, you can't attack. So you just missed another point of damage. Alright? Now, is bolting his guy right? Probably, because it uses all of our mana this turn, and it lets us scry. It lets us scry, hopefully, to a land. Again, if we hit an island, how do we lose this game? We just keep getting all our removal back, and all of his creatures die, and we just keep beating him down. Alright, so we don't need more spells to kill those guys. We're already ahead on the race. Who cares if he hits us for a couple of damage? Like Mimic Cyclops goes to the bottom. Oh my gosh! So you're crippling our draw steps here. You missed a point of damage there. Nivik Cyclops doesn't do anything. Okay, Archaeomancer is GG. Not Nivik Cyclops. Nivik Cyclops can't even attack. What are we going to do? Play Nivik Cyclops next turn, then Lightning Strike one of his guys, and then get one attack in? All he needs is one removal spell, and then he just totally blanked our entire line. Alright, so you're... Hold on. Oh gosh. If you play Cyclops first, you missed another point of damage. You're gonna bolt? What? Okay. I can be okay with the fact that you kept Cyclops on top. The problem is that we have absolutely no way to actually attack and get damage in and win the race, which you want to be in. You want to be in a race. When we are in the position ahead, we're ahead. You want to just keep dealing more damage than he can deal less. But if you bolt this turn, our Cyclops is literally 1/4 defender. At least right now. And that's basically making it the worst card possible. You could have taken 2 damage next turn, bolted his Cloudfin, or bolted his 2/2, and then beat for 4 plus some. Again, we're winning that race. Alright, another key thing to keep in mind here is that every turn that you tap out, we're guaranteeing that Essence Scatter is going to do nothing. It's almost getting to the point where, it's hard to know what he's playing. See, you better play Cyclops here. If you play Divination because you really want that land, dude, if you really wanted land, you'd ascribe 2 spells to the bottom. What the heck are you doing? Oh my gosh. Trust me, I haven't watched this match in 2 weeks, so it's like I'm watching it for the first time and I've forgotten all this. You cannot pump your Frostburn Weird in this spot because he has open mana. You could have Devour Flesh, you could have Voyage's End, you could have anything that time walks you. You just drew Divination, you actually have a plan. The plan is to cast Nivik Cyclops and then cast Divination next turn and just crush him. Alright, he has to have a counterspell. But look, he has the Voyage's End. And, okay. So what was your plan that turn? Void, attack for 2, leave up Essence Scatter? Look at these cards in our hand. Archaeomancer has rotted in our hand all game. You kept Nivik Cyclops on top, and then haven't moved it. It's like moving the queen into position, and then blocking it in with your pawns and just like giving it no line of sight on the whole board. So now it's useless, alright? So look at this race now. Merchant, +2, -2. Like the worst merchant that he could possibly have crushes us. Because look at the race. It makes his Cloudfin a 3/4. You draw Shock, which can't kill it. And now we're just severely behind. You know, we're getting 4 attacks with no way to interact with a 3/4 flying. So at this point in the game, he should be eating tons of damage. Oh my gosh, double merchant. He should have been eating damage from our Cyclops for, you know, Cyclops into Lightning Strike into Divination. That's like 8 damage. He should have been getting hit from this Cyclops. We would have taken 1 extra hit from the Death Cult Rogue. But look, you drew a card like Shock now. If you would have been able to go Cyclops into Divination, you would have hit potentially another land drop, and you would have hit this Shock plus 2 cards deeper. You know, if you scry, you know, differently earlier too. What does that mean? That means we're not at a low life total here. Not nearly at all. Look at that island. Dude, we had the island on top. You could have had that island 2 turns ago. So what do you do now? You cannot play Archaeomancer here. What are you getting back? Lightning Strike? Are you serious? We're just dead on board to Grey Merchant, which you have the answer to in your hand. Lightning Strike does not kill Cloudfin Raptor. So your plan with this line is he doesn't have Grey Merchant. He attacks us with Cloudfin down to 1. Next turn, we Lightning Strike and Shock his Cloudfin Raptor. And he bricks again. And we don't have Essence Scatter mana open. So we're dead to another Merchant in 2 turns. We're also blowing 2 removal spells to kill 1 creature. At which point Death Cult Rogue just kills us. So, like, with that, yeah, we're just dead to another merchant. So with that line, there's just, like, we can't possibly win. And it's just kind of unfortunate that we got to that point, I think. We're in a really bad spot when he has triple Grey Merchant, but we can handle it a lot better if we're able to, like, Essence Scatter the very first one. And then he's just dead if we were attacking him with, like, the Cyclops. Alright. Sideboarding, let's see what you do. Now look at the sideboard. I think Chandra's Outrage is an immediate include. It kills a big Cloudfin Raptor. It kills Grey Merchant. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're going... You're going to submit without even changing anything. Let's think about the cards that we saw. Cloudfin Raptor, Grey Merchant. Alright, Voyage's End, Death Cult Rogue. What do we want against him? He can gain life, so it's not a deck where I like Razor Tip Whip. Razor Tip Whip is when they have tons of removal and no real life gain. Time Ebb is pretty bad. You don't want to put creatures back on top of their deck. It is good against Cloudfin Raptor, though. Electricity is not what we want. Dispel, not really. Negate, not really. Smell, not really. The Chandra's Outrage, I think, should just be like one of the easiest includes, because so many of our top decks don't kill Merchant, and they don't kill the big Cloudfin, which he shows he can make a 3/4 because he has 4 Tempest Skies. Bolt of Keranos is actually not that good. He does have the 3/3, but if you look at, what's the other part of our deck here? Shock. Shock is just not that good. It kills his 2/2 unblockable guy, but so does every other removal spell we have. Another card, Voyage's End. We don't want to really bounce any of his guys. Bouncing a Cloudfin Raptor is okay, but why don't we just kill it and then just attack him? You know, I would take out Voyage's End for Chandra's Outrage and just keep our removal density high. And then I would put in the 2 time ebbs and say reset Cloudfin Raptor. So that's like a 4, it can deal 4 damage removal spell. You can even, if you have 2 Nivix Cyclopses in play, and they're at, 8 life, and you have a bunch of mana, Frostburn Weird, and they just play a Merchant, you can time ebb their Merchant and just kill them if they don't have any blockers. Let's say the Cloudfin Raptor is the only flyer in play, and they're just attacking us with it, and they only have 1, 4 toughness guy back. Like, that's possible. But you don't do that only unless they're gonna die the next turn. So overall, you shouldn't be happy with, I think, our main deck. You can make it better. I would play Time Ebb, Outrage, take out Voyage's End, take out probably 2 bolts. So you have plenty of cheap removal. Alright, that's an easy mole. It was a 1-lander. And you're on the play. Something else to keep in mind, in a matchup like this, I guess you have to play, because Divination's good on turn 3, and your Essence Scatters and Nullify are better. But, it's not like the craziest thing to draw, because they're not really that aggressive. Like, come on, he's playing that card, Gutter Skulk. You're playing Frostburn Weird. Frostburn Weird is like the Swiss Army knife of format. It does everything. Here, you have to assess your role. Right, and your role is, I'm not going to trade 1 for 2 damage because I'm not that fast at racing. And you have Grey Merchants, you can gain life, so Divination Class is very good. Again, look at the 2 cards we drew. Voyage's End, Bolt. The 2 worst cards in the deck according to my sideboard guide. We could easily have Time Ebb, plus Chandra's Outrage. Okay, so you're willing to trade 4 for 2. What? Why are you leaving open shock? First off, you totally give it away. The only reason why, that you have to kill that guy. Okay. Here's a little point here. If you leave open mana for shock without pumping Frostburn Weird, you just revealed the card. You flipped it face up. He knows you have it now. If you don't use it to kill that 2/2, then you just missed a point of damage. You let him trade 3 for 2 in the race when it should have been traded 4 for 2. He didn't have like Freakus Cure mana open or anything, so it's just like, there's no point of, missing that. So this turn's really interesting, because all he needs to do next turn is play land Grey Merchant, and we're in a real bad spot. So what do? What the heck? Okay, no. You have 5 cards in hand, your opponent has 7. The damage is 13 to 18. You paid an extra mana this turn to deal an extra damage when you wouldn't do it last turn, so you already missed, he should be at 13 already from last turn's damage that you missed from the mana that you didn't use. What you need to do this turn is put the second Frostburn Weird into play. And only deal 2 instead of 3. So either way, he should still be at 13, but you should have 2 Frostburn Weird in play. Because what are you doing with holding blue open? You're really, bending over backwards to hold red open last turn so you could hold shock open. For what purpose? Hopefully to be able to kill end of turn Basilica Screecher or Death Cult Rogue is like the best possible play you could make. With that line. But look, you just tapped wrong, so we're just completely hosed in this race now. We've like, see how small of a difference it is too? Like, you just didn't use 2 mana, and it's bad. Because look, now we're using mana this turn. So you shock a guy, that's great. You attack. Let's see what happens. If you... Oh my gosh. Okay, you pump, deal 2. What you fail to realize now, though, is with Basilica Screecher in play, our ability to race is not good. He's attacking us for 3. We just attacked him for 2, and every time we attack him, it costs mana. So, by not playing Frostburn Weird last turn, this 2/2 is ranching us. Right? Now what are you going to do? You're going to Voyage Zender guy and replay him and just totally reset your tempo? Or, you're going to do the coup de grace and sacrifice yourself like a noble samurai. Normally, what I do is just pay the 2 mana and kill my own Frostburn Weird. Look, if you had that second Frostburn Weird in play, you could have attacked with one of them and then leave the other one back. That way the 2/2 can't get in any damage versus you. Alright, because think about it. These decks, they just have Grey Merchant and they just wait for the last second where they have the most black permanents in play for Devotion, and they wait until you tap out. And you have 5 cards in hand. How in the heck are you ever going to play an Archaeomancer and tap out when you can't even play all the spells in your hand? You needed to get that second Burn Weird into play earlier. So what's your choice? Yeah, sacrifice your guy so you don't take additional damage. Alright. So we're down an entire Frostburn Weird. Now what are we going to do? The play in my book is Frostburn Weird, go. If Grey Merchant resolves, you are like not winning this game in a million years. If Disciple of Phoenix resolves, you're not winning. What are you, okay, you can't win. You just spent 3 mana, you're basically spending 4 mana to kill a 2 toughness creature. Alright, again, that's another reason why I said Bolt is what you sided out. Alright, you could have Shocks killing this creature, and then you could have other mana to leave Essence Scatter or Frostburn Weird, But what you effectively do is, it doesn't matter if you scry. The next card you draw does not matter, because you're going to die when he plays Merchant. Go down to 9, attack for 2, go down to 7, and he goes back up to 16. You just can't win. He has a negate anyway. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So he basically time walked us. You didn't even get the scry. If he merchants plus extort, dude. What's interesting to me is how I just remember the guy in the comments saying like, oh, it didn't matter what you did, like you still couldn't have won based on all these things, dude. There's multiple attacks. You are never getting hit by that 2/2 Gutter Skulk. These Basilica Screechers, they're all dead. They're never hitting you. They're never extorting. Right? This Merchant doesn't come into play because you always hold 2 mana open. You don't like spew by activating Frostburn Weird when attacking for 2 or 3. Doesn't matter. What matters is developing your board and making sure that you deny his board development. So like, there's just key points there, man, where, you know, once you just start missing those extra 1 manas and not using the spells, you know, not using your shock the 1 turn and leaving his 2/2 alive, dude, that 2/2 just straight up dealt you 2 or 3 attacks of damage and a merchant devotion. Like, so what did you just do? You just put yourself dead to Grey Merchant again. You cannot tap out. Alright? So what do you do here? Concede. Asphyxiate is not that good of a card against you. It's only good if you are put on the defensive. And you were put on the defensive by just not using your mana, you know, every turn efficiently, and forcing yourself to, you know, replay this guy and have him be untapped. Where if you counter his Grey Merchant, you know, shock his Screechers and, you know, clear the board, I mean, I would have left this stupid 2/2 alive. It can't do anything. If you have 2 Frostburn Weirds in play, what's going to happen? You attack with 1 every turn, he can't block. You pump if you have the extra mana. If you have spells, you do not do a single thing, and he just takes the 1. And then, can he attack? No. He puts Stab Wound on your guy. Can he attack? No. Alright, end of turn, what do you do? Are you going to Voyage's End his Grey Merchants? Are you going to Voyage's End any of your other guys for value? No. You Voyage's End your Frostburn Weird. You basically turned his Stab Wound into a removal spell, where it could have been basically a bounce spell. So you could have been in a spot where you just Voyage's End your Frostburn Weird at end of turn. Now you are still 2 Frostburn Weirds up to his board of a 2/2. Alright, at that point, you have time to land Archaeomancer. You know, hopefully with 6 mana, what do? You get back Essence Scatter. You cannot lose to Grey Merchant at that point. So, really interesting, you know, to see, like, even with commons, you know, the play lines and the things, these are complicated and interesting. You know, this makes me sad to see, you know, this sweet Cyclops deck go. Because I felt confident in this deck. This is basically, you played against a very bad version of Mono Black is what it is. And I think it should be able to handle it. You have 6 main deck counter spells for creatures, which is the best cards in the format. Even the white aggro decks, like the recent Azorius, you know, Torith based Crouching Cipher and Strings decks, they're boarding in Essence Scatters. Even Gwynedd is main decking Essence Scatters because just the best cards against the black decks. If you just counter their guys, they can't do a single thing to win. So I like how this deck was positioned against that kind of a deck. But, you know, this is the Gauntlet, you know, so we learn, we go over some of these things, and we try to see, you know, if any of this can help for the future. But just my thoughts and analysis, and hope people can, you know, find it educational. And I'm not trying to be mean or too critical in a way. I'm just saying, you know, kind of how I've seen, you know, just the Pro Tour people, you know, I have treated the Channel Fireball team through my sports chiropractic stuff, and I've just sat in on a lot of playtesting and just listened to a lot of objective criticism. I mean, just a lot of lines and plays and why did he do this and stuff, and just it's really good to just practice that. So yeah, I hope this was able to be helpful. If you guys have any you know, suggestions or comments or anything, this is my last video for this series of round 4 of the Gauntlet. I definitely want to keep doing some more. A couple things I know. I have an annoying cough, but I wanted to do this anyway because I didn't have any other time to do it. coming up. I'm pretty busy. I know my fan is loud and annoying. I want to figure out a way to fix that. I ordered a really nice Platronics gaming headset with a mic. One of my patients kind of hooked me up with that, so that should be here soon. I'm pretty new to this, making videos and doing stuff, so any suggestions or feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching. Alright, take care, guys.